All right, let's run it back. Scott Bauer is the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. I think we got him at the CME. There he is, a sight for sore eyes here, Scott. We've always wondered, does Bitcoin qualify as risk on or risk off, Scott? And it seems like right now we got a big test coming because it sure as heck hasn't been trading like bonds or gold the last 2 days.
No, not the last few days, but look at even gold today. Gold's taking a breather, right? You would think on a day like today we would have seen gold up 2%.
What the heck is going on there, Scott? Did gold just get tired of running?
Yeah. You know what? I think you finally have some people in there taking some profits. And you know what? Right now, everyone's putting their money into the bond market. I don't know if they're taking profits out of gold to buy the bonds or what it is. But, you know, when I look at crypto or at Bitcoin and gold here, you know, and that correlation of risk on and risk off, today they're certainly moving the right way or the same way together.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I've described it, Scott, as just more focused on rates, right? Which is, if you have this narrative that depends on currency devaluation and such, that's Bitcoin's story. For gold, I've kind of lost track because for gold, they say it's all about an inflation hedge. Seems like it's just an anything hedge because right now inflation expectations are diving with the bond market. So, exactly. I mean, we're just grasping at straws.
That's exactly what it is. And that's the unknown, and that's kind of the fear in the marketplace where eventually, Oliver, whether it's a week, a month, 6 months from now, there's going to be massive opportunities to take advantage of what's going on right now. But because we're in such unknown and uncharted territory right now, I'm telling you, experts don't really know which way to turn.
Scott, am I giving Bitcoin too much credit if I think that maybe Bitcoin is sniffing out the possibility the Fed's not going to come to the rescue?
No, I don't think so. I'm looking at this actually, and maybe this is just a very one-off explanation here, but I'm looking at this risk-on sentiment in the marketplace as something that is a black swan. Something, you know, this virus, right? It's not fundamental, it's not economic, it's not technical. I mean, maybe it is economic because it's going to affect how you know the global economy is, but this is something like we probably have not seen. Even if you go back in time to SARS and the others, the Ebola virus, okay, we haven't seen it quite like this yet. And so my thinking is, you know what? People don't want anything that's unknown. And right now, Bitcoin could be part of that, and that's why we haven't seen the continued rally over the last couple days.
Now, we know that it obviously has big moves. On the year-to-date period, percentage-wise, it's higher than bonds and gold, but it came a little bit late to the party. Gold was about a month and a half ahead. Bonds were a couple weeks ahead in terms of RSIs and overbought levels that I watch. So is there going to be overhead pressure at some point, Scott, across this correlated trade that is all tied to rates? I mean, to some extent, and they may not all be, you know, looking for the exact same story, but it seems like there's a lot of overlap here.
I mean, I wish I knew the answer to that. I'm certainly not in the category of expert, and the experts don't know right now. I mean, go back in time. When have you seen commodities and bonds and the market move as uncorrelated as they have been, as they are right now? I really put the question to anyone to explain really how this is working and what is going on here, other than there is so much of a panic here and so much of a thought process that, like you said, the Fed is going to come to a backstop, even though Bitcoin might not be saying that, but they are going to come to a backstop, and maybe that's why you see this bond market just continue to rally.
Clarida says today, don't get your hopes up once again.
I know.
Are markets just too easy to ignore this? Do they risk playing with fire, flying too close to the sun if they want to force the Fed's hand at a time where inflation's been creeping higher?
Listen, down here on the floor where these things trade, I'm hearing over the last couple days that all of a sudden, there's now better than a 50% chance, and I don't know that that is accurate or not, just kind of
it is by April.
I'm hearing. Right, 50% chance of a 50-point basis cut by April.
Wow.
Now, is that the one-off black swan because of the coronavirus? I certainly think it would have to be, because economically the numbers are still pretty darn good.
Yeah. Scott, dollar, gold, we're learning now that that is a positive correlation instead of the negative one of the past. So, you know, you add it to the list. There's all the, you know, tear up the textbook basically on whatever you thought this market's supposed to do, or markets in general.
Exactly. Tear up the textbook. You know, we like to, us quote-unquote professional traders, and I like to put myself in that category since I've been doing this for 30 years, we like to base our decision making on experience, on what we've seen in the past, what we've experienced in the past, what has made us money, what has, you know, what hasn't worked. I can't tell you what the right place to put your money is right now. I just don't know.
All right, love it. Little honesty never hurts. Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, helping us try and untangle this mess that is the market today. Good stuff.